I wanted to make a video discussing what happened at the UC Berkeley free speech event. At the event, I was able to ask Dave Rubin a question many people have been dying to ask him. Why does he continue to have so many right-wing guests or former liberal guests on his show, and not many liberal or progressive guests? I called into Sam Cedar's show to talk about my intentions. I'm going to use some portions of those calls to address what happened at that event.
Hi. I just wanted to call in because I live out here in Oakland, and our good friend Dave Rubin is going to be at UC Berkeley today. So I plan on going and asking him a few questions on, why he won't talk to you. I specifically can ask him why he won't talk to you, and why he won't talk to someone like ContraPoints. And then I'm going to ask him why he gives such softball interviews, to so many super crazy right-wing people. So it should be interesting to see how he reacts to that. And I just want to let you know.
I think that's a good question. Well, I think what would actually be more helpful, to be honest with you, because I know how he's going to answer that question. He's going to go like, oh, this is classic. I'm a classic. I think you should say, I've heard you say many times that you support single player as establishing your liberal bona fides. How do you square your support for single payer health insurance, which estimates cost, which would involve a large, a huge increase to government spending, with your consistent claims that government should be smaller? Ask him that question.
Yeah.
And watch this guy implode. Honestly, there is no answer he can give for that question. He can give an answer.
Yeah.
I can tell you what the answer is when he says, why won't you debate Sam Cedar? Oh, this is classic. He probably, he can just shuffle away from that. Ask him a question that's going to reveal that the guy is full of crap. That's the question you got to ask him.
Yeah.
Is he
cool. I'll definitely ask it. Cool. What's funny is it's who's sponsoring this event.
Who is?
It's the Ayn Rand Institute. Is sponsoring. The sponsor of the event is the Ayn Rand Institute.
That's not.
So this, the last liberal.
Listen, I want you to also. This is what I want you to do. I want you to take a picture of any document or sign that says sponsored by Ayn Rand, because that is the dirty little secret about Dave Rubin. Half the stuff he does is sponsored by the Koch brothers.
I'm sure he'll.
I want you to send that to us at Majority Reporters.
I'm sure he'll implode after that.
I will do.
That's the priority question. But I would also be really curious, because he calls himself a classical liberal, if the idea in Thomas Paine of people having some type of like birthright to land as like almost like an early social safety net, and whether he sees himself in the John Stuart Mill tradition or the Thomas Paine tradition of classical liberal. I would really like to see him. That's like the philosophy.
Classic view.
Classic college got you. Shutting down debate.
Gotcha. Shutting down debate. Why do you hate free speech? Why do you hate free speech, sir?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Appreciate the call. Good luck. Send us that stuff. Send us that stuff about the Ayn Rand thing.
Yeah, Sam. So I called a couple times about the Dave Rubin incident where I asked him a question at UC Berkeley, and just wanted to call in like a final time about the situation.
Yes.
The Q&A was not uploaded.
Okay. So you asked Dave Rubin. His Q&A was not uploaded. He's refusing. He's denying your question a platform, contrary to the First Amendment of the United States and free expression.
Free exchange.
Something like that, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what happened, but it was definitely there, and then it got edited, and now it's not there, and it's probably not going to be uploaded.
So wait a second. You're telling me that it's not just a question of whether or not Dave. Let's back up a moment here. Okay, I want to make this absolutely explicitly clear. I don't want to lead you into any fashion. You attended a UCLA talk by Dave Rubin.
UC Berkeley.
UC Berkeley talk by Dave Rubin that was sponsored by the Ayn Rand Foundation. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was the Ayn Rand Institute. It was a free speech event. He was hosting it. There were two other people. There was a Q&A after the event. I asked him a question. There was a couple other questions.
What was the question that you asked him? What was the question that you asked him?
So I asked him like why he kept having on kind of, very nutty people like Mike Cernovich and not so, more reasonable left-wing people. And I just stated my dissatisfaction with the way that his show had been going from the start. It was one thing, and now it seemed like it's totally.
And what was his
totally off the
answer?
rails.
To the best of your recollection?
Basically, so the first thing he asked me was, could you name 3 crazy people that I've had on my show? And, it had been so long that I didn't even try to answer that question. And then at some point, he sort of was talking about the people he was going to have on. So his response was, I'm going to have on a progressive person and David Frum, who doesn't really like Donald Trump. So there you go. That's what I'm doing. And that was pretty much it. That was his response.
And so you're telling me that the question and answer period was actually uploaded in part of the original video. And not only, this is not a question of them not taking the time to upload it. They edited it and pulled it down.
That's shitty.
Yeah, they edited the video. They took out the Q&A. It was there. And if you look at the comment section of the video that was uploaded on his channel, like, people talk about it. People talk about the Q&A. They talk about my question. And they even talk about, it got removed. Like, the Q&A got removed from the video, and now, he still has
the memory
I'm sorry. Just remind me again, what was this event called?
It was a free speech event. It was, hold on, let me...
Unbelievable.
Are we killing free speech? That was the name of the event. That was the name of the event.
Well, I guess...
Like, they're not really committed to free speech for everyone.
I guess they answered the question, too, didn't they? They asked, are we killing free speech? And then...
Showed you.
They ended it by killing free speech. Well, sir, I appreciate the phone call. I'm very disappointed to hear this, because Dave Rubin certainly puts himself out there as someone who welcomes debate, encourages debate, is willing to take questions, and the idea that he would try and scrub this video is very, very sad. Wow.
My advice: anyone tweet out at Dave Rubin, release the Q&A. That's what I'm going to try and do.
I want to say, if you do that, please be polite. I believe in polite discourse.
Hashtag please release the Q&A.
Yes. Hashtag please release the Q&A. All right. Appreciate the call.
There is one misconception that I'd like to clear up. I'm not asking to deplatform anyone from Dave's show. I don't care who Dave has on his show. The problem I have is that he has many guests that are problematic. Mike Cernovich is a good example. He believes in these absurd conspiracy theories like Pizzagate and other crazy things. Another good one is Stefan Molyneux, who's been accused by many of using cult tactics to get his followers to disassociate from their families of origin, or as he calls it, defoo. Instead of having these types of people on and not asking them any hard questions or follow-up questions to expose the bad and problematic views that they have, I'd like Dave to have on some actually knowledgeable people like ContraPoints or Destiny or H Bomber Guy. People who can give another perspective and are very intelligent and articulate. Lastly, if anyone wants to help me out, please tweet at Dave Rubin for him to release the Q&A from the UC Berkeley event. Also send him a message through his contact page asking for the Q&A to be released there as well. Hopefully, if there's enough support, we can get him to release it. Thank you for watching, and I'll try and make more content soon. Thanks. Bye.